Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you are most welcome again. So today we are going to look at something very important, and that is about tables in Excel. And here is an example of sample data that was drafted for an employee called Alex Bella, who worked on several dates, and each date has a corresponding hours. And then we are going to give the rate until which he was paid. Then we shall first calculate the gross pay and the tax and the net pay. Then after getting all that, we shall put all this information into a table and look at different ways we can format our table. So to start with, of course, we have to give this table a heading. So we're going to say our table, which is Excel tables. And then first merge these cells so that our heading can be in the center. Increase the size and then bold it. There we go. So after that, we come to our Excel data, and this person, we can give him the rate of say $25. So say $25 per hour. And then so we're going to say each and every hour this person was working for $25. So we shall go ahead and enter 25 hours in each of these cells. Then I'll use the handle to fill the rest of the cells. So to calculate the gross pay, I'm going to get the number of hours worked times the rate. So here I'm going to say equal sign this the E8, which is the cell reference for this cell, times, I'm going to use times as the operator for multiplication, times the rate, which is 25, which is the same as F9. So remember, in our previous examples, we said whenever you want to do any kind of formula in Excel, you need to start with equal sign, followed by the function or the formula. So in this case, I didn't use any function because I'm doing just a simple calculation. So here, I'm multiplying this by this, but I don't use the lateral value or the real value. Instead, I used the cell reference that represent these values. So after that, go ahead and press enter on the keyboard or on your Excel sheet, and then you get the answer, which is 8 times 25, you get $200. To calculate for the rest, click on the on this angle, and then from there extend, drag and extend outside to fill the city, and then the rest of the values, the rest of the cells will be calculated automatic. So now we have seen on each and every date when Alex worked, we have seen how much he earned as a gross pay. So we're going to calculate the tax, and here we assume Alex was paying 2% tax. So in this case, if Alex was paying 2% tax before, immediately after getting the gross pay, so let's see how much he paid as a tax. So we're going to say equal sign, then you say 2% means out of 100 times the gross pay, which is G8 for the base or initial value, and then when you click enter, and then meaning on the first day, that is February 1st, he when he worked for 8 hours and the rate was $25 and the gross pay was $200, then he paid a tax of $4 on that day. So we are going to drag outside the selection to extend the city, and then we see how we can automatically calculate for the rest of the days. So this is how the Alex was paying taxes. Now after paying the tax, of course, now what is left is the net pay, and that is what he goes with at home. So we're going to see how to calculate the net pay. So calculating the net pay, of course, we're going to get the gross pay minus the tax. So we're going to say equal sign, then we get the gross pay, which is J8, minus minus the tax, which is H8. Then after, click on enter, and then you get the net pay for the initial values, and then drag outside to fill a series so that you get automatic net pay for the rest of the values. So after doing that, this is now the first step. We have done. We have calculated the gross pay, the tax, and then the net pay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put these values into a table. Reason because tables are very important because they help to organize our data. Especially we can do, we can remove duplicates, we can sort our data, we can do the analysis and a lot of things when our data is into Excel tables. So when you want to put this into Excel tables, first of all, we're going to highlight the information or the values. After that, go to Insert tab in the ribbon, click on that tab, then select Tables. After that, you will get a dialog window where they are saying where is the data for your table. And here you'll see the formula in this box. That is the formula range which contains all the data in what that we want to put in a table. And make sure that you check this where they're saying my table has headers. The headers, these are what you call like the employees, the ID, dates worked, hours, rates, and so on. Those are the headers. Each and every table in Excel must have the headers. So after that, if you've confirmed, for example, if you see B7, our table starts from B7. That is column B, row 7. That's the first value, which is employees. Employee is in the cell B7, and then it goes up to I23. This is I, column I, and then this is row 23. That's why you see we have this. So literally, if you don't want, or if, for example, you don't have that formula automatic, you can also do it by saying put $, then you say B, $B, that is going to be another $, B7. So this one means here I'm going to say B, that is column B, row 7, then 2, the range of that's I, $I, and then $23. So after that, click enter, OK, and then our table, our data will be formatted to a table. Now you can see my data is in a table. So the moment you do that, automatically in the ribbon of tabs you will see another tab which is table design. So we can do different kind of designs for our table, and in this case what we're going to do, first of all, we can go to table styles, and you can hover to, we have different type of styles. You can hover to one by one and you see which kind of style you want, or you can select the new table style for yourself, custom style. So for example, I choose this table style. So when I click on that, or when I select that, it will be automatically be affected on my table. So the rest of the thing if you are to see this, our table has no name. So we're going to name this table. So you come here where you say table 2, then you say put the name and say employee tables, employee, or you can say RX pay rate. So when I press enter, you can see I have some errors where they're saying to verify that the name starts with the letter or underscore, doesn't include a space, and doesn't conflict with an existing name in the worksheet. So here I need to get a name which does not conflict with the worksheet. Then I have to get a name which does not, whereby I don't have to use a space. So I can say RX pay. So there we go. So when I'm done with that, when I press enter, now you can see the name of the table has been effected. In the formula bar, I have the name employees, but the name here is already effected. So in this case, the next thing I'm going to do is to learn how to remove the duplicates. So go to tools as the one of the group in the table design tab, and then there's this option, this tool that says remove duplicates. Click on that, and then you get a dialog window where they will ask you to select all the columns. The columns start with employee ID. So here normally you can filter and maybe by ticking one of these columns, and then you choose which of the columns you want to check and see if there's any kind of duplicates and remove them. So I want to select each and everything. You can check here to unselect, or check here to select each and every column. So after selecting all the column, I go ahead and click on OK, and then wow, my data is good. So Excel tells me there's no duplicate values that were found. So I press OK. After that, I want to see how can export this maybe to other external database, and so to be shared on the network. So here, go to export, say export table to a shared point list. So here you need to select the address where you want to export your data by typing the URI, and then I said URI this is hypertext transfer protocol, and URI is the uniform resource locator. So you need to type the link where you want to export your data. So the next thing we are going to learn and see how we can select any of this. Like we can select the first column. When I select first column, now you see the first column is selected. When I select the last column, you see last column is selected. So here, after that, we've seen how to select different columns, and then when you select, now a bold will be applied to make it strong. So the next thing we want to see how we can do different calculation, like the sum. We want to know how much Alex got as gross pay, how much tax did he get, did he pay, and how much did he went with as the net pay. So how we are going to do this? We are just going to select one of the option here, which is called total loss. So first of all, go to gross pay, click one of the so select the gross pay. Oh, sorry. I made some mistake. So I'm saying select the gross pay. After selecting the gross pay, then go to total loss, select that, and then you will see automatically, I think this will be affected on the last value or the last row, which is the net pay. So here I can get what? I get the total values for the net pay. Now if I want to get like the other functions, I go and click on that drop or that combo box, and then you can select other functions like the average, count, numbers, maximum, minimum. So if I select average, I see I'll get the average automatic. If I see maximum, I can get the maximum. If I say minimum, I can get the minimum. If I want the sum, I will get the sum. If I want to calculate the standard deviation, I'll do the standard deviation. Then I have the variance. So this is how we can do different function using the what? The other tool of total count. But still I want to know what was the total gross pay. So total gross pay, I will say equal sign, then I say sum. I use the sum function, then I get the first value, then I can drag outwards, select all the selection, and then after I close the bracket. So here I have the equal sign for any calculation in Excel. I have the sum as the name of the function. I have the parentheses, and then I have the arguments. And in this case, I use the range. So after that, go ahead and click enter, and then you see the total gross pay. Go ahead and calculate the total tax. So equal sign sum. Then I get the first value, and then I say range, and then I get up to that, then after close the bracket, press enter. So I get what? I've get the gross pay, I've got the tax, then automatically I will get also the net pay calculated after removing the taxes. So the next thing we can do is we can do other functions, but let's say maybe we want to check if Alex paid if Alex for example, if Alex earned less money, then we can advise him on what to do. So on that case, we can use the if function, but I think that one it's coming in the next video. We are going to see how we can use the if function to advise Alex on how to improve on his work, especially on the number of hours, and we see how you can adjust by reaching the maximum work period of 8 hours using the if function. So for now, we have so far seen how to do tables and some kind of calculation that goes hand in hand with tables and different formatting tools. So in the next video, we shall still continue with different types of functions and other tools in Excel. So thank you for watching. Let's catch up in the next video.